Friends, um, this year, the assignment for the talk, if you're here, last week, we gave an excellent talk about uh, the general topic would be like safety, peace, and harmony. So when I got the topic, I was thinking about, how do I present it? So then I decided to go three ways. I'm going to share with you. First of all, everybody wants safety, protection, and blessing. If I wear my eyeglass, I can't see you at all. So I choose for safety a sutta. It's collected in the Pali Canon in the Kundaka Nikaya. Okay, it's a Pali Canon. So it's collected in that Pali Canon, in that Nikaya. And for peace, I choose His Holiness Dalai Lama's quotes. That's for peace. And then for harmony, I choose another sutta from the Nikaya. I think this is from the Majjhima Nikaya number 18. It's called the Honeyball Sutta. Okay? And I have a reason for choosing that. First, the Mangala Sutta. It's talking about, how do we prepare us? How do we prepare us so that we can have the protection? We can receive the blessing. The blessing not necessary from some higher being. The blessing is actually from ourselves. We are able to protect ourselves. We don't need, in a way, we don't need to rely on, others in a sense, okay? And the Mangala Sutta is going to tell us how are we going to do that. So that's the reason I choose for safety. I choose that sutta to share with you. Then for peace, I was thinking about, shall I choose the words from His Holiness Dalai Lama, or shall I choose from the teaching of Tenahan? Everybody knows, those are two very important and influential figureheads talking about peace, okay? And then reason for choosing Sutta MN number 18, the Honeyball Sutta, is because how to come up with the harmony? How do we face? What is the root cause? What is the reason for not being harmonized with each other? So I choose this sutta because it talks about conflicts and how conflicts arises. So if we can master that conflict, we will be able to reach the harmony among us. So that is the reason I choose, three different teachings. So with that said, Mangala Sutta, I'm not sure, Venerable, do we chant that sutta? in our day, Sunday chanting anymore? Not, no? Okay. We used to chant that sutta in our Sunday practice. If you would like to have a copy, there are, I have it down in my slides, so you're welcome to have a copy of my slides, or you can ask the Venerable to see you can have an electronic copy or even, a paper for that. So with that said, the Mangala Sutta, we all need protection at some times. We wanted to be protected. Who doesn't want to be protected? I believe everybody wants a protection from somewhere, somebody, somehow. And we also would like to be blessed. Like if we have roof above our head to shelter winds, snow, storms, if we have food on our table, those are the blessings. Think about, places in the world that with war going on. They don't know whether they are going to have the next meal. They don't know whether, their home will be bombed, invaded. So not, even mention about the natural disaster. So it is a blessing that we have a house to live in, we have food on our table, we have family, we have friends, and we have Dharma. We have the Buddha's teaching guiding us from this undesirable suffering, dissatisfaction kind of situation towards liberation. Beautiful, isn't it? Count that as the blessing. It is a blessing that we can sit here in Maba, in this Chan hall, sharing the Dharma, practicing together. It is a blessing. Okay? So, with that in mind, let's go into the Mangala Sutta. I have it laid out in the original text, which is in the Pali language. And if you like to chant that, fine, we can start with Evam Me Sudang Ekam Samaya. Okay, that's all I know actually. So we can start with that, or we can read the English translation. And then if you're more interested, there are Chinese translation also. So it's served to you, okay? Up to you, which language that you prefer. So I was planning to read it through, but when I look at the clock, I changed my mind. So I'll go to, roughly go into this slide. The first one is an introduction, where and how this sutta being discourse or being talked about or teach. The second one, third one, and I think it's second, 3, 4, 5, okay, are actually the sutta itself, talking about what are the highest blessings. So I just go through it. Okay. And the sutta actually was an answer by the Buddha to a deity being, to a deva, who came in the middle of the night and asked a question. what are the highest blessing? Okay, so go back a little bit. I would like to read just one slide here. It says, thus I have heard. The Blessed One was staying at Savatthi at the Jadis Grove in Anathapindika's Park. Then in the dark of the night, a radiant Deva illuminated all of Jadis Grove. She bowed down low before the Blessed One. Then, standing to one side, she said, Devas are concerned for happiness and ever long for peace. The same is true for humankind. What are the highest blessings? So this is the question that the celestial being or the deity asked the Buddha. Okay, so this discourse was preached at Jadavana, answered to a question asked by a Deva regarding what is the highest blessing. In a way, Mangalani actually can be translated into protection also. So there are 38 verses divided into 10 sections. This is the chart, and I really would like you to have a copy of it. Why? Because each item you can put a check mark. It's like checking out the boxes and see which one that we actually fulfilled. Then you see that, oh, okay, I fulfilled this box. And I got, the highest blessing because of checking of this box. So if you would like to have a copy again, please ask for it. 38 verses divided into 10 groups. The first group is setting the goal. And this is very important. Like this morning you wake up, you decided to come to Maba. Okay? So Maba is the goal. And you can go through Highway 64 if you're coming that way. Or you can go from Washington. If you're coming from Illinois, again, Highway 64, Highway 70 to 64 to 94, right? So if you're coming from south, maybe, from Manchester, from 44 all the way up, different paths. But the goal is Maba. Now, there are a lot of wineries around Maba. Don't get sidetracked. You can come to Maba first and then maybe later visit the winery, okay? And have a piece of pizza. Their pizzas are good. So, set the goal. Know our destination. Carefully identify the goal. Am I coming to Maba this morning? Or should I go to the winery and listen to the rock music? A choice, but carefully identify, okay? And then if we decided to come to Maba, make sure the conditions are favorable and available for you to come to Maba. For example, this morning you decided to come to Maba and you have a headache. Condition is not favorable, but with determination, I don't care if the sky fall down, coming to Maba anyway this morning. Okay? Uh-oh, there's a roadblock. Roadblock. What do you do? Hey, I'm going to Maba this morning. If Highway 40 is closed, then I'm going to wind myself down to Highway 44 and come to Washington. My goal is Maba. A lot of time, we don't do that. We just turn around and go home and say, forget, I'll go next week. Okay? So set the goal, make sure the condition is favorable for us to achieve our goal. That's group number one. And there are 3 verses helping us to set the goal. Group number 2 is develop foundation. Now, this is a little bit tricky here. The foundation can be developed in the present time, but most likely it's been developed in the past. If we never heard about Maba before, we won't come to Maba. If we never heard about Buddhism, we never want to learn about Buddhism. Then we won't practice accordingly. So the foundation is already in our consciousness. And to, like I said, to have food on the table, to have shelter above our head, to have a Mercedes to drive, there are conditions that we build up. There are causes that we built up previously. If I don't start saving money in my bank, there is no way that I don't have a Mercedes to clear that, okay? To buy what we want, right? So those are the foundations that we already established. And I would like to congratulate every one of us sitting here because you already have the condition to bring you here to listen to the Buddha's teaching and to practice accordingly. So, based on the previous merits, we are able to develop the present condition, and also based on what we are doing now, we will be able to preserve our future condition. That makes sense? Good. And then group 3, after all the 2, group 1 and 2, then group 3 will be, we're ready. We're prepared for training. And that's verse number 7 to 10. Group 4, now, there is no free lunch. No, sorry to say that. If we want something, we are responsible for something also, right? So there are responsibility and obligations if we would like to have the blessing, if we would like to be protected, if we would like to be safe. We do have obligations and responsibilities. So that's verse number 11 to 13. Group 5, then when we get the blessing, protection, safety, all these goodies, then we have to think about how do we contribute to people around us. So contribution to the society. Then with the contribution, we have to base on the moral standard. Okay? So we cannot say that, you're so rich and I'm so poor. Can I go to your home and take some money? That's not within the moral conduct, okay? So we have to set some moral standard. Then group number 7 and 8 is actually going one level higher. It's called the spiritual progression or progress. Then it's from number 22 all the way to number 30. It's pretty long. And then group number 9, it's now we know all the information. Then let's sit down and meditate. No, let's sit down, not necessarily sitting down. Let's go and practice. And with the practice, we will see the transcendent effect from all the defilements, all the negativities that we encounter day in, day out, to be a very peaceful, very steady, very unscattered, very sharpened mind. And with that mind, happiness evolved. So that's group number 9. Group number 10, well, there are, certain misunderstanding or not misunderstanding, overseeing that, somebody reading a sutta or the teaching would think about, oh, this is what should be, for example, non-self. If there is non-self, then who is going to answer the consequences of the deeds? If it is non-self. Buddhism talk about non-self, right? Then I can go rob a bank. Non-self, I'm not going to bear the consequences. Now, that is not true. Non-self, emptiness, all these are at a more supramundane level. Here, in the conventional truth, I go and rob the bank, definitely I'll be put in jail. Okay? And at that time, we cannot talk about non-self because Kelly Joy in jail. Period. Okay? So group 10, it's kind of, give us a little bit teaching of here is the conventional truth that we have to face day in, day out. Hey, here is a higher level, and this is the ultimate truth. Well, even though I'm still breathing day in, day out, still have to, deal with my boss day in, day out. But then I know that there is another level that I can achieve if I practice accordingly. So this is the layout and the 10 group taught in the Mangala Sutta. Very interesting. And just want to share with you my sources. Here are the sources. I got the information from Bhikkhu Pesala. He wrote a text called An Exposition of the Mangala Sutta. And then from Venerable Kai In, he gave the courses, 12 sections, 1 hour each section. So if we want to get into the Mangala Sutta in detail, stay here for a week. Then we probably will be able to go through it. So his discourse and explanation. And then another one is Thera, means teacher, Narada Thera, or the senior. So his work is Mangala Sutta, Blessing, translated from Pali. Okay, these are my sources. So let's go into group number 1. 1 through 3 verses. First one is called not to associate with the fool. Now, who will admit that I'm the fool? I don't think anybody will admit that, but I will. At times, not all the time. Okay? So let's go through the definition. What is a fool? Holding the wrong view. I have wrong views. At times, not all the time, not all the time. It's referred to a person just breathe in and breathe out. Not during meditation, don't get me wrong, okay? We breathe in and breathe out. Even not within the meditation, not sitting, we still breathe in and breathe out. It's a person only breathe in and breathe out without doing anything. Doesn't want to learn, doesn't want to practice, doesn't want to even go out the door. So the routine is waking up in the morning, brush the teeth, go to the bathroom, eating breakfast, sit around like a couch potato, maybe watch some TV, have lunch, then sit on the couch again, watch some TV, then have dinner, then maybe go to the bathroom twice, then sit around, brush my teeth, go to bed. That's it. 24/7, 365 days. Doing nothing. Just pass the day by breathing and eating and go to the bathroom. That is what we consider a fool. And shameless. If I go and rob the bank, so what? I'm not ashamed of it. If I hit somebody, so what? I'm not ashamed of it. If I'm being scolded by someone, so what? If somebody tells me, you did this wrong, so what? This is what we call a fool. Just passing the day without aim, without goal, without advancing, without helping himself or herself or the others. What's the purpose of living? So, do we want to associate with people like that? No, huh? Why not? It sounds fun to me. If I watch somebody just wake up eating, go to the bathroom, wouldn't it be fun? Eventually, we got influenced. Hey, this person does not have to go to work, right? Doesn't have to do anything, doesn't have to worry about something. He must be happy. Why don't I be one of them? Being influenced. A fool also shameless, like I said. No moral compass. Doesn't care about himself or the others. So, again, using robbing the bank as an example. And he said, today I'm going to rob the bank. Hey, Kelly, let's go out together. You don't want to associate with people like that. Right view. Number one is right view. Right view involved in cause, condition, and consequences. Right view. People without right view definitely won't help himself or the others. So get away from them. Don't get too close. Okay? And even don't waste time of watching that. Your time is so precious. We don't have any time to waste. So associate with the wise. Now, right view is number one again. Okay? Right view, what are the right views in the mundane level? First of all, they're wholesome and unwholesome. Their cause and consequences. Their previous, present, and future. And there are ordinary and practiced people, and then with the practice will be transcended and advanced to a good practitioner heading towards the final goal of liberation. So those are the right views. If we are afraid of the consequence, we will be very careful when we plant the seed of cause. If we want a peach tree, you do not want to plant an apple seed. If we want to have wholesome results, we don't want to plant a wholesome seed. Don't worry about that. It happened to me all the time. So, fair, right? It's very fair. So associate with the wise. Who are the wise? Everybody raise their hand. Of course, we are the wise. We are here at Maba learning, trying our best to practice the Buddha's teaching. I'm not saying that if you go to church, you're not wise, okay? Still, you're very wise. Any kind of practice that go along with the morality, why not? You know, we don't have to label ourselves. Hey, I'm a Catholic. Hey, I'm a Christian. Hey, I'm a Muslim. Hey, I'm a Buddhist. As long as we practice, we learn and practice the teaching. And the teaching is saying that have the right view, okay, have the right thinking, live a right life, speak right speech, keep your mind steady with right concentration, and give rise to right wisdom. That's it. That's the Buddha's teaching. As long as we practice the Buddha's teaching, we're okay. So consider everybody, you are the wise person. Okay, give yourself a pat at the back. Yes. Okay, so that's 3. That's 2. 3 is honoring those worthy of honor. I'll finish this number 3 and then, we'll go to gentle. Now, how do we honor? How do we honor? Do we just kneel down and bow? And in your mind, you say that. I don't want to bow. Why do I have to kneel down? Why do I have lower my pride? When we bow, kneel down and bow, it's only a gesture. It's only a sign. She's saying that I respect. That's the key word. Honoring somebody has to be with respect. If you don't respect this person, now whether he's a fool or wise, I don't know, but with respect, okay? Why do we have to respect? Because this person, not only he is a learned with experience, got something to teach us. Just looking at, the presence of this person would give us a peace of mind. Have we ever come to a person that, oh, this person is so nice that I want to associate with them? Oh, this person is so beautiful that, I want to marry her. That's out of the question. Okay. Now, respect. Even though, in a friendship, in the equal level, respect. Okay, that's the best way to honor. So who do we respect? Those provide material and spiritual benefit. I hate my boss, but I have to respect him because he signed my paycheck. Okay, he provides my living sources. So parents, teachers, employers, monastic, public servant, those with value and virtuous. Okay? So, especially I want to bring this up to the Buddha, to the Dharma, to the Sangha. Okay? Because we learn from them, they teach us, being our role model, guide us from suffering to liberation. Sounds like it's a big thing, suffering to liberation. But if we just, neglect that and think about giving us a peace of mind, that's worth respect, right? Okay. We have 10 groups, 38 verses. My planning is to finish group number 5, and we are at group number 1. So, but that's okay. We have the time. Oh, if I still breathe tomorrow. Okay, let's put our palms together. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be peaceful. And may all beings be liberated. Thank you all.